Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you are in the world. This is Jason with Top Shelf Traders. Thank you for joining. Let's start with a quick yes and yes in the questions box. That's what we're going to use today. We've got Brian with TraderShark with us. Let me know that you can hear me okay and that you can see my screen okay, or you can see Brian's screen. Just quick yes and yes right there in the traders, the questions box. All right, Pete, thank you. We're excited to have Brian with us. We reached out to Brian a little while ago. He's got a jam-packed schedule. He was kind enough to agree to present on our weekly free training. And this session is called Green Dot, Green Candle, Go. So as I mention pretty regularly throughout, and for those of you that are regular attendees, this will sound familiar, but we consistently survey our 350, now soon to be 400,000 traders out there. And we're constantly looking for ways that we can help provide additional content, better education, etc. And one of the things that we consistently hear about is, well, hey, can you help us with the ES? The E-mini S&P futures, and can give us tactical and practical things that we can use to evaluate market conditions, to enter even what our mindset should be before we go ahead and get into a trade. And so when we had a chance to connect with Brian, and he offered the chance to present at one of our events, we jumped at the opportunity. We're thrilled to have him. So as always, we'll keep this really informal. We're at the end of the day, trading is about to conclude. Ask anything you like. I will man the questions box for Brian. And as always, this is also being recorded. So if you've got to duck out early, you've got something else going on, whatever the case is, we'll be sure to get you a recording of this event. And by all means, hopefully you caught this in the invite, but there is an offer and a free trial just for coming to today's session, which Brian will pass along those details. We'll make sure that you get that link. So I won't take up any more time. Brian, it's awesome to have you here. Thank you for joining us. I'll turn the floor over to you.
Excellent. Can you all hear me? I was listening to some background music here. Friday afternoon, we're done, or I'm sorry, Wednesday afternoon, we're after the trading hours. I hope y'all can feel that. All right, let me go ahead and turn this off here. Everybody, thank you all for joining me Wednesday afternoon. Jason, thank you for inviting me. And I know we've been trying to get in. I've been so busy over the last 4 months, and so appreciate you all joining us today. And I think Jason indicated that he is recording this, which is great for reference in the future. So as Jason said, welcome to TraderShark.com. And what we're going to do today, let me make sure my cursor is working here. We're going to learn to day trade the S&P E-mini futures. And, you know, you've heard this done. There's like over 1,500 rooms out there. I try to take something as a complicated market and try to simplify it. So welcome today to what's called Green Dot, Green Candle, Go. I just thought that I got kind of tired of the old 5 ways to win, 5 ways how not to win, how to avoid the chalk markets. This is what it is. Green Dot, Green Candle, Go. So hang in there till about halfway through the presentation, and I think you'll enjoy what you're going to see today. So Top Shelf Traders has invited me, TraderShark, and we're going to present today Green Dot, Green Candle, Go, which I thought was a pretty creative. I'm always welcome for comments. I want to know if that caught your attention. Anyways, the disclaimer, I want everybody to know, trading options, futures, any off-exchange foreign currencies can certainly be financially devastating. You can lose a lot of money. You can lose more than what you have. Please consult your financial advisors, your brokers, prior to making any financial decisions. And I am a strong endorser of doing sim trading and paper trading before you actually incur use of your own money. Okay, past performance not an indication of future results. I'll tell you about how the results were today, which were also really cool. So today we're going to learn how to evaluate pre-market conditions, which I think is really cool. A lot of people don't even believe the market starts trading until 9:30. That's not true, and I'm going to show you how that works. I do tend to talk a little fast. My apologies. I'm from Western New York. I'm now down here in Orlando, Florida. Stay on the right side of the market. This is important too, right? We want to make sure we don't trade against the trend, or if you do, at least have a reason or a justification for that. We're going to identify some key support and resistance levels. I think you're going to like that part as well. And I want you to think before you click, right? Otherwise, you're just a gambler. And we're not gamblers. When we're traders, I hear family members tell me that all day long, that you're a gambler. No, it's not gambling. These are calculated risks, and we do it for a living. And I want to show people how to use commonly used indicators inexpensively. You don't have to go into a room and spend $3,000 to get their whiz-bang software. You can use common indicators. We've got to be able to beat these supercomputers out there, right? Who am I? That's a little bit older photo. I'm 54 years old. That's me. I have been trading for well over 25 years, stocks, options, Forex, and futures market. I rest my head now on futures market, right? Stocks, options just was not making the money. Forex, I had monitors in every room of the house. Every room of the house. So then I kind of settled on futures market. I was a mortgage broker for over 20 years. It gave me a great background on treasury markets, how the interest rates work, and how housing starts and existing home sales, how all of this affects the actual market itself. I'm a former U.S. Army officer. I was a medevac helicopter pilot in Desert Storm. Ooh, that's a long time ago, huh? Now you really know how old I am. And I'm a professional life coach. I was actually trained by one of the best in the industry in a public forum. I'm not able to mention the name. You may see his name in here, but I'm professionally trained, whereas you hear a lot of people tell you that they are coaches with no skill set whatsoever. So I have actually one of my students is in here today. I have read the comments at our website. I think you'll enjoy that as well. What are our objectives? I want to create a core group. Everybody says, oh, you're teaching seminars to make money. When you see my prices, you're going to say, he's not really doing that. I'm not like these large organizations. Create a core group of like-minded traders helping traders. Apply commonly used indicators to trading futures. What do the other trading rooms do? They take commonly used indicators, bundle them up, and call them proprietary. Right? You have to use a starting point in order to call it proprietary. It's proprietary because of your blend. It's like the ingredients. And then you do it inexpensively, right? Help reduce one of the biggest injuries to most traders, and that is called over trading. True or not? I find, and I do it myself, even as experienced as I am, if I overtrade, I end up making less than if I trade less. Does that make sense? In other words, if I only trade 3 or 4 times a day versus 30 or 40, I actually end up making more money. To slow down and think before you click. We're observing, right? It takes a little bit of time. You look at it, you have a knowledge, and then you apply, you press the buy, sell button or whatever you're doing, and then you click. You don't just do it because your emotions are telling you to do it. Provide a unique trading environment in a live trading room for new and experienced traders. We have some professional traders. We got floor traders. We've got doctors. We've got attorneys. I know because they got their computers on their desks. So we've got a broad mix in there. A success comes, now mind sharing. What is mind sharing? People ask me the question, why do you do it? And I thought about that for a second. And yes, do I make money on the manuals in the room? I do, but I don't make a whole lot. Success comes from a team approach, traders helping traders. I get jazzed when people are helping each other in the room. I like it when people are talking, but again, I don't want too many people. I don't give everybody the microphone. Let me put it that way, because then you're going to get a lot of confusion, and we want to kind of keep that to a minimum. Educating traders about the markets is rewarding. It makes me feel good. I enjoy seeing the success in the Shark Den, and you can see it and hear it as people are learning. I've got some new traders in there as they're reading the manuals, and they're saying, "Oh, no," like a light. You see the light bulb go off. Trading alone can be boring. Some people are introverts. Some people are not. I'm an extrovert by nature, so keep it interesting and informative. I mean, that's why it's called TraderShark, the Shark Den. Hook patterns, wave trades, right? Just a little twist that makes it entertaining. And it works, right? Always learning from questions being asked. Every day there's something bizarre that happened, not bizarre. I always see a question or a comment that I learn. I take a little golden nugget from that and apply it into the future. Profit sharing. You know what? You're successful in life, you give back to your community. And I don't care who you do, but I like to donate to the Russell Home for Atypical Children. Clean the World is fantastic. They take all the soaps from different hotels and rejuvenate that for people around the world. Wounded Warrior Project support our troops, right? Because they're protecting our country. Let's take this step by step. After you place a trade, have you ever felt like this, right? This is a lack of confidence. Have you ever felt like this? This is uncertainty. This is anger. We really want to kind of avoid anger, okay? This is like, again, lack of confidence. We shouldn't feel that. I think you've heard this done before, is a boring trader is a good trader. So lack of emotions, right? So if you have really, really excited when you're making money, then you get really, really depressed when you lose money. And we want to stabilize that. And how do you do that? You do that by increasing your confidence level. How do you do that? You increase your confidence level by practicing, by having an understandable approach, step by step, methodical, right? Trading with indicators, or you can trade, level 3, whatever you want to do, but you have to have a proven system and do it consistently over and over again. Why do people feel like this? They feel like this because we're told that approximately 90% of all traders consistently lose money, and it may even be higher than that. Why? We are trading against supercomputers, algorithms, high-frequency traders, iceberg orders, black holes. There's of big money. People that are smarter than us, people that have a lot of money. I mean, they spend millions, if not billions of dollars to get their computers so close to the exchange, so the time frame from the presentation of the market to their computers is less than microseconds. We got a disadvantage. There's no doubt about it. So, the proverbial question: how do we win against that kind of odd, or those kind of odds? How do we become profitable? I'm not saying it's always profitable. We're going to lose money as well. You got to know that up ahead of time. But you have to understand that we want to be winning more than we're losing, or you're not going to make it, or we're not going to make this as a business if you're not. We need an edge. We need something that is going to a nuance, if you will, right? A nuance within the market. We need to take advantage of the nuances within the market, which may be a little blip, it may be an angle, it may be a support or resistance level, it may be an indicator. You can't keep jumping around from trading system to trading system to trading system. Find something that speaks to you. Find something that you enjoy. I invite you to join us on the Shark Den tomorrow. I've got a free trial. See if it speaks to you. If you like it, if you like what you hear and see. If you don't, that's fine. I wish you the best in whatever you go on and do. If you want to stay, that's fine too. Join us. But education, continue to educate yourself, such as with top shelf traders, and watching and reading, and watch these other seminars. I always encourage people to compare, right? We need to take advantage of the nuance, and then we need to do it consistently, and then we do it over and over again. This is not new to anybody. This is all stuff you've heard, I know. But you want to master the basics to master the arts, right? So that's why there's so many trading rooms. The last count, I thought it was like 1,459, probably over 1,500 rooms now. Okay, so I'm also a member. I've also been selected with the Global Trade Titans, top 12 rooms selected. Check them out, Global Trade Titans, and you'll see the evaluation of my room as well as others out there. Well, that's why we have TraderShark.com. I created it because I saw so many things that I liked and didn't like in other rooms. I created something that spoke to me. We will show you nuances within the market. Time is the most critical factor in determining market movements. I like to use the clock. I'm not going to talk about the time segments today, but I want you to know that time is critical. We want to know what time it is at all times. I trade from 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern time in the market, and then I'm done. I may come in and trade a little bit in the afternoons, but for the most part, you want to trade when the highest volume is kicking up in the market. Maybe I'll step in the last 30 to 40 minutes into the end of the day. But there's a definite relation between time and price. William Gann. Oh, well, that was a mistake. Okay, there. Pre-market evaluation, we talked about that. What is pre-market evaluation? This vertical, I don't know if you can see my arrow or not, but right here, this is 9:30 when the market first opens. If it doesn't look like it here, but it is. It's 9:30. Before that is called the Globex range. The Globex range is saying, hey, the S&P E-mini is actually trading, but it's got a different name. It's called the Globex. And that's from today's close until tomorrow's open. That's called the Globex range. What's called the Globex range? The high and the low of that overnight range. Why is that important? because it's telling us that, and this is why it really helped to be trading through the Forex and the different currencies, to learn when you close here, then you go on over into what? You've got your European market, you've got your Asian market, and as it's coming around into the next morning, you're starting to see how their trading of our equities, of our futures markets, is affecting. So if this range is real narrow, that's why I want you to be aware. Pre-market evaluation before 9:30, right? 9:30 is when the equities close, stocks. Equities equals stocks, right? When the stocks open at 9:30, I kind of want to know what's going on overnight. What happened in the European and the Asian markets? How high and how low did they make it go? To me, this is a narrow range. Do I know for sure? Don't pay too much attention to these over the right-hand side. The concept is still the same. The range, let's just take a rough idea. You're probably talking about 37 to about 33. 37 to 33 is what? 4 points. It looks like the Globex range is 4 points. This is important to me. If the Globex range is only moving 4 points, then I'm really only projecting or believe that the US market's going to move potentially a 4-point range today. That's why it's important. Let's look for the Globex range. The US market will tend to model it. Well, how does that help me? What I really like to see is if I have a narrow Globex range and then a wide opening range, I have an opportunity for a breakout. And I'll tell you more about that later. This is a broad Globex range. The wider the Globex range, the tendency for the US market to break out, and if you'll notice here on these little yellow lines, this is only the first 15 minutes of the trading day. So a narrow Globex range, I may have misspoken earlier, the narrow Globex range means you're more than likely going to see a consolidating day in the US market. It doesn't always happen that, but you're looking for a nuance. You're looking for something you can capitalize on. So here we've got a broad Globex range. Broad Globex range says, hey, something's happening out there. Even if you're not looking at the news, which I encourage you to get a news source and watch it. But if you're not, looking at the Globex range, the pre-market condition, it's telling you that something's happening. And so if it's got a range of, let's say, 20 or 30 points, then I'm excited thinking today we're going to get that in the US market, which is on the yellow lines, we're going to get a breakout. Something pretty basic, right? You're looking for a narrow or a broadening Globex range. Fair? Okay. Now, and I said this earlier, master the basics, you'll master the art. A lot of this is basic stuff. You know this stuff, but I'm repeating it because if you master those basics, then you become more improved and better at executing your trade plan. Oh yeah, I had to put these in here, right? The Zen symbol, the yin and the yang. Over here, this is the new Zen symbol, lower left-hand corner. The new, because I tell people this, if you're getting stressed out or you're getting tired of waiting or every price action is remaining in the opening range, stand up, breathe, drink water if you have to. Why? Because you're sitting in a chair, you're cutting off the oxygen, you need to keep yourself alert, eat healthy. This is all part of trading. It's not just buy and sell trading. You need to take care of your health and what's going on in your family life. And then when you're sitting down, you're focused on trading, not what's going on in the other parts of your life. But again, focus on this. I thought this was pretty cool. This is the new Zen symbol, lower left-hand corner. Opening price. We all know what opening price is. It's generally, in our room, it's dashed white line. I forgot to put the dashes in there. But if price is wrapping around opening price, this is one of my what's called choppy conditions, or an area that you get, you're going to get chopped up. So I try to avoid trading around opening price. Some of the trading rooms out there are going to tell you, use opening price as support and resistance. Well, do you think that worked here? Do you think that worked here or here? No. You're going to end up paying a whole lot more money back. You've got to have actually a rule, and we do, and I'll even tell you what that is. Price action in the S&P has got to travel at least 4 points away from the opening price in order for it to become support or resistance. If it does not travel a minimum of 4 points, I would highly suggest, I'm not a licensed broker, so I cannot tell you, I would highly suggest that you do not use opening price as support or resistance until you've got at least a spread or a far enough break away from opening price, okay? What are the yellow lines? The yellow lines are the opening range. After the opening 15-minute range, they go solid. So over here to the left, from 9:30 until 9:45, I mean, I'm giving you the gravy right here, when you see in the Shark Den for tomorrow morning. These dashed yellow lines are moving until the opening 15-minute range is established. Do you think it's important? If I'm mentioning it, it may be important, right? So white line is your opening price. Yellow lines are your opening range. Now I know that if I'm going to be staying within the opening range, it may have a tendency to be choppy. What am I doing with these rules? I'm eliminating emotions, or I'm minimizing emotions, right? Everybody says don't trade by emotions. Trade what you see, not what you believe. What you believe is it's going to break out. But if you're not getting a true breakout and you don't have an indicator to support that, then you're going to get crushed, right? So it's quite a challenge to trade emotion free. How do you do that? You do that by following an established set of rules. Joining a trading room, listening to the rules first. You don't just start jumping in with real money, and you practice, and I can tell you how to do that. Because people don't have a clearly defined plan how to practice to do that. And then after a certain number of trades, and I'll tell you, you want to do 20 to 40 trades, sim trade, before you actually apply real money to determine whether you like trading that kind of trading system. Why am I talking about that when we're talking about an opening range and opening price? I'm talking about the basics. Understand this, because this is going to make sense when we get to the green dot, green candle close. Here's your opening price again. Do you see this? We don't know what's going on the right-hand side of the screen. We don't know when it's going to break up or down. We have kind of a wedge pattern happening here. And then the next screen, you're going to see where it breaks out. If you stay on your hands, sit on your hands, SOH, until we get a move away from, right? You haven't moved 4 points yet away from opening price. You move away from opening price. Now I'm excited. Now I'm going to trade it. Next screen. Okay. This is the prior screen. You can see it to the left, and the breakout. I may not get in here because I don't know. These candles all look the same as they did to the left. But love the pullback right here. Again, I hope you can see my arrow. This pullback is what I'm looking to continue the trend all the way down to the next support level. Okay, so this is the pullback we're looking for. I'm a pullback trader. I'm not a breakout trader. I will wait for a pullback. I may miss a lot of the breakouts, but I wait for that pullback and you'll see it. I describe trend line breaks and how we jump in with that trend. Market conditions. There are 4 possible answers. You know this stuff, but I want to bring it to the forefront of your mind so that way you can apply it as we go forward. Trending up. Trending down. Not trending. Really? Yes. Consolidating or accumulation. Accumulating sideways motion. Accumulating before they continue the move in the direction. Consolidating before they reverse. We don't know. We don't know until we get to that level. We need a level to tell us if it's actually consolidating or accumulating. We need to know when it's going to stall. And hopefully I'll be able to show you that today. Other. Ooh, people don't even know you have another. Here we go. Trending up, higher highs, higher lows. We know that. Trending down, lower highs, lower lows. We know that. Consolidation, accumulation. Well, this could be consolidation. Accumulation may be a breakout and then it runs sideways above it or sideways below it. From here forward, the next one, other. Ooh, what is that? That's not a wedge pattern. That's an inverted wedge pattern. What is it? This is called a megaphone because it looks like a megaphone. This, to me, in my opinion, is the most difficult pattern to trade. Higher highs, lower lows. Got it? Higher highs, lower lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tendency would be to break off to the 5th. If it didn't, break out to the 6th. Continuation. Patterns. Patterns have been around for years, for ages, since the market started. This is one to be careful of. But you don't know about it until it begins to occur. When I'm talking in the Shark Den, I'm telling people this looks like a shark. This looks like a megaphone. A megaphone pattern. It's also called a search and destroy algorithm. Inverted wedge. It's designed to chop you up like a ninja bullet, right? We want to be very careful of this. It's also called a broadening top. There are certain indicators you can use to prevent this from happening to you. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Think about that. John Maynard Keynes, the market can stay irrational, volatile, or choppy, or sideways consolidation longer than you can stay solid, having money in your account. So that's why we need to have these nuances. We need to keep your powder dry, keep your money in your account until you see a trade set up. That's where the waiting or sitting on your hands is important. How do we put it all together? Well, there are these support and resistance levels I was talking about. Some people use pivot levels. Okay, that's fair. Some people use Fibonacci levels. That's fair. We've got a very successful trader in our room that uses only Fibonacci levels, and he does it very successfully. Key number levels. I don't know what key numbers, whatever other trading rooms are offering out there. They may make them proprietary. I don't know. Consolidating numbers. That's important. You may take all these numbers, consolidate them, and come up with your own bands. A lot of work. Prior highs, prior lows. A prior high is actually a support level. It's not a resistance level, and vice versa. A prior high is what? It's a support level instead of a resistance level as well. We use shark bands. Ooh, now we get to the good stuff. TraderShark use shark bands for support and resistance levels. That shouldn't be a surprise. It's called TraderShark. We use shark bands. Jesse Livermore. Throughout all my years of investing, I found that the big money was never made in the buying or the selling. The big money was made in the sitting or the waiting. The reason I say that is if we have these shark bands, support and resistance levels, we are working our way to them or away from them. Sometimes you got to wait. You can't just be in the market all the time. Oh, you can, baby. You'll probably be on the losing side of the money. This was, let's see, today's Wednesday. This was Tuesday's price action. Ooh, that looks pretty cool, right? But how do we trade it? There's opening price. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, there's opening range. So now we've got opening price and opening range. Cool. We've already talked about this. What is happening here? I've got some consolidation going on. I'm already establishing my opening range. I know it's choppy around opening price. I still don't have enough information, but I am starting to see my nice little red dots and green dots come in. Those are shark bands. Now, take your time to look at this screen, how your eyes adjust to it. Okay. Do the shark bands pose support and resistance? These are posted every morning. I email them to everybody, each one of the Shark Den members, and I post them in the room, and they're posted on the screens that you see. If we have an opening range, and right here's our opening range, the yellow line, but we've got a shark band just above it, I more than likely will not be trading into it. Why? Because it's a resistance level. It's a proven resistance level. The more and more you watch the shark bands, the more and more you will love them. I love them. This is, and I create them myself. I manually calculate them. I've tried for years to try to get them automated. I can't do it. I've got an algorithmic spreadsheet that I've created with gradient slopes. Everybody says they know how to do it. Nobody can do it. There's only one other person, maybe in the room with us today, that knows how to do that. That's my business partner. So the blue band is the center, tends to be the center of where approximately where price is going to open. The red bands are selling pressure. The green bands are buying pressure. Do you think the green band posed buying pressure here? Yes. Do you think the blue band, that's kind of an indifference. So do you think the red band posed resistance? Let's look at another screen. Ooh, it did. Okay, so what we have here is we're watching. I'm not going to tell you what this indicator is on the bottom. When you come join the Shark Den, I'll certainly tell you. I can't give you all the fun stuff. But right here is we have a nice indicator that creates this. These green dots appear automatically. The arrows do not. I manually put the arrows in while it's setting up. But I do say something like this. We've got a green dot appearing. We've got an oversold position. Our anchor chart, I use an anchor chart and a trigger chart. Anchor chart's crossing long. Green candle, green dot, green candle, go. Green dot, green candle, go. I forgot to tell you about the red dot, red candle, go, but you'll see that here in a little bit. Now, I really like, write this one down. I like the green dots at an extreme. I prefer an extreme. This is not an extreme. But we chose to take this trade because the shark band already did its job. Resistance, resistance, talking about it in the room, just like this. We've got our first resistance, like it. Not going to go long, not going to short it. I'm in the opening range, right? I don't want to be trading this opening range area. Not going to short it. I'm not going to go long. I'm not going to go short. What am I doing? I'm sitting on my hands. I'm waiting. Now I've already got a clear indication there's a lot of strength to the long side. If I remember correctly, it was a tidal wave day. Tidal wave means we gapped up by a certain number of points. We were looking long, going to stay long at least until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And amazingly, right, it doesn't happen every single time. This happened to happen yesterday. I was looking long. Green dot, green candle, green dot, green candle, go. Now I have certain target levels. We talk about it in the room. I use an average directional index. I also use an ATR, an average true range. The average true range tells me where my target levels are. Really, an actual answer that makes sense. Average true range of the prior so many bars, I'm not going to tell you what that is right now, gives me my target level. Do you think if the prior so many bars go a certain average range that maybe my trade will only go that far as well? Huh. Light bulb may be going off just a little bit. Another one. Red dot, red candle. Kind of like it. What did we do? We may be out of the trade as we're working our way up here. It depends on whether you're a larger trader or a smaller trader, larger account, smaller account, couple $1,000 account versus a $20,000 account. You may or may not want to hold. You need to learn the method first, get used to the slang. I don't want to say slang, the terminology, tidal wave, wave trade. These are all very important. A tidal wave is a all-day trade. A wave trade would be this green arrow. This is a wave trade. A tidal wave would be a long position from over here until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Very lucrative, but also very expensive if you take a loss. So we'll talk about that. First resistance, nice. Did I take my first red dot red candle? No, it's generally a head fake. But I did take the second red dot red candle, and believe it or not, this was a counter trend full target, T1 and T2. But look, it reversed against you. That's because my ATR, or at this point, the rule is a counter trend trade, you're only going for 4 ticks. 2 and 4, 75 bucks. You do a couple 75-buck trades, you're up $300, $400, $500. Okay. Same thing here. Red dot extreme, red candle, go. Red dot, red candle, short, go. This is kind of a mid-range green dot green candle. Was I interested in going long here? Now I have another supporting indicator I use. I'm not showing it right now, but this was an indication for me not. Plus we're above the opening range. Hey, if we're above the opening range and we're running into strong resistance, I've got to make sure that this resistance pulls back deep enough to run the stops of those people that got on over here. Hopefully this is making sense, right? That's why we start a little bit simple when we first start. I want you to gradually accumulate. This is the way we train. This is the way we learn. More green dots, green candles, more red dots, red candles. This is a higher time frame chart. This is my anchor chart. So do you think that a higher time frame chart, I'm not going to tell you the setting of the time frame. Do you think a higher time frame chart, it's good for us to have a lower time frame chart to trade in that same direction? Right? That's the golden nugget. Whether you're using a daily chart and a 4-hour chart, or a 4-hour chart and a 1-hour chart, or a 1-hour chart and a 15-minute chart, or whether you're using a 5,000 tick chart and a 500 tick chart, it's irrelevant to me. I have set ones that I use in the Shark Den. But whatever you trade, stocks, options, futures, I would expect you to use a higher time frame chart and a lower time frame chart and stay with the trend, stay with the wave. Let me back up 1 second. Okay, this was even towards the end. Notice that I'm done trading by 11:30. This only shows 2 or 3 trades. I think we took 4 or 5 trades the other day. I don't remember what the end results were. Obviously, we hit 4 or 5 trades with 1 reduced risk stop. And then, but if you decide to trade, you're welcome to join us in the Shark Den tomorrow. We're going to stay open. It's going to be open for the entire day. So even though I'm done broadcasting by 11:30, you're still welcome to sit in there and watch how the market moves, ask questions. Other traders can certainly answer your questions. But I want you to notice red dot, red candle, red dot, red candle, green dot, green candle, red dot, red candle. So you apply the methodology. You can do it throughout the day. Personally, I just prefer not to trade after 11:30. It's just past experience tells me that I know that I don't trade quite as successfully during that time frame. So you may as well stop, go enjoy life, go do your whatever things you're doing around the house or for your significant other, and then come back and trade into the close. Here's our into the close level. Watching a trade green dot, nice green candle. If I say I'm taking the second cross today, there's your first cross, There's your second cross. This is where I got in right here. Bang. Red dot, red candle. Look at that. Red dot at an extreme, red candle. Hopefully this has got your attention. This is fantastic. It's awesome, right? Don't get greedy. What you need to do is you need to be confident and you trade consistently over and over again. This is when I talk about a first cross and second cross. I don't know if anybody's typing in the questions yet. Hopefully I'll answer your questions first. This first trend line is the first cross. This second trend line is the second cross. All very clearly defined in the trading manual. Second cross, long. Why do we not take the first cross? Because everybody else is taking the first cross. And when they do, the market will tend to back and fill or come back and take up those stops prior to continuing forward. Why not wait, because we're a pullback trader, wait for the second cross and then continue higher, right? Pretty cool? Okay. What's that? Those are some moving averages. We've also got some special lines. Do you think that if you stay above the moving averages and you wait for the pullbacks, do these two green arrows just seem a whole lot stronger? Better? I mean, you're going to see these moving averages tomorrow. But do I really want to be taking a short? If I do, I may want to take a shorter target, right? If I'm going into the moving averages, do I want to hold short? Not till I get below it firm. I'm still long. I would be holding long, plus the fact that we had a tidal wave. So there's a lot of information going on. And you're not going to come into a room and learn it all in one day. What I want you to do is you come in and you listen and you ask questions and you read the manuals and you continue. What? You mean we have to work at it? Yes, you have to work at it. You got to work to be successful. You don't go buy a pizza shop and just go become making pizza. You got to learn how to do it first. Watch, learn, ask questions, continue on to improve, know what your outcome is, right? And if you don't know what your outcome is, sign on for a free coaching session. I'll do a 15-minute coaching session with you. And again, you may see who it was that I was trained by. I used to train with them out in San Diego. But the coaching program is awesome as well. Helps guide people up to being successful no matter what you trade. Even if you don't trade my trading system, that's fine. What is this? I don't remember putting that slide in there, but it looks pretty cool. This is a lower time frame chart. Okay, so I was doing these at 4 o'clock in the morning. What happened here, we got a green dot, right? Okay, so we've got an anchor chart, a higher time frame chart that's saying, hey, I want to go long. And now I've got a lower time frame chart here, green dot, green candle long. So do you think that if my anchor chart, my higher time frame chart is saying, let's look long, do you think that maybe my lower time frame chart, I want to consistently stay long as well? The answer is yes. I'll help you out there. So nice opportunity here. Do we get into every trade? No. Do we win every trade? Of course not. But follow, listen, observe. A lot of times people will get frustrated. I see people come in and they'll leave 2 or 3 days. They get frustrated. I promise you that with persistence and consistency in a little bit of work on your part, you can make trading successful, but you have to apply discipline. You have to know when to get out of a bad trade. You have to take your losses and not get depressed because you take a loss. You take that loss and you learn from it. We learn more from our losses than we do learning from our gains. At the end of the day, you go back and you review those trades that you may have lost money in and ask yourself, what could I do better next time? Do not ask yourself the question, why did I lose money? Because if you ask yourself why you lost money, your brain will give you the answer as to why you lost it. You don't need to know that. What you need to know is how you will correct it for the next time to make money or to earn a profit on the trade. Is that a fair statement? So I'm trying to guide you how you talk to yourself. I don't want to hear anybody ever say, I suck. I want you to say, I learned one more way how not to do something. Is that fair? So how you talk to yourself, how you carry yourself, what you believe and what you see. Stay on the right side of the market. Is it always that I pick these screens and only use these screens? No. In fact, this is Monday. This is Monday's chart. What happened on Monday? Some traders in the Shark Den took no trades. From 9:30, this is Monday, April 16th, the opening 15-minute range. Here's your yellow support levels, right? Opening 15-minute range, and then your shark bands are in between. I've got shark bands inside my opening range. I've got an opening range where it's holding it all the way through 11:30. You know what? I was not broadcasting that day. I think my business partner was out there broadcasting. I was not able to take any trades. I don't know as though I would have taken any trades. I also want you to notice, keep this in mind for tomorrow. I want you to see as they cross here, the indicator, if they're crossing near the 0 line, less likely to be a successful trade because you're short-lived in your direction. If you're going to be short-lived, you want to scalp it and take your profits early, because if you try to take a trade like this and hold on for your long, big 2, 3, or 4 point gains, you're going to get your behind handed to you. So be careful doing that. I've got a red arrow here, and I can't tell you why. I don't know. This indicator is an average indicator, and it's below the 0 line. That's why. So if it's below the 0 line, I'm not looking to go long. I really don't see any good clean trades here. It does look like we got a minor breakout. Another thing I want you to be aware of for tomorrow, when the shark bands are close, the tendency will be for the market to go up and bump its head on the first shark band, retrace, and then push to the second shark band. Ooh, this got cut short, but eventually it did reach it. Do you think just with that tidbit of knowledge, you may be able to scalp? You got a pullback here from your first shark band. You may be able to try a trade here. Green dot, green candle, go. I'll tell you in the shark den if I'm going to take a trade or not, or if I'm not, if I'm sitting on my hands. If I miss a trade, I'll tell you. If I take a loss on a trade, you will know. You won't hear me get angry. I'll simply say, I took a loss. I took a full stop. I took a reduced risk stop. I took a gain. This is the gain I took. You're going to hear exactly the same tonality and progress that I do on the other trading. So this is what I see here. Do I see anything else? I'm not going to tell you what all these things are yet. You don't necessarily need to use them. This is really one of your shark lines that we watch, the dotted cyan color or blue lines. This tends to be an area of neutrality that the price action tends to come back to. Okay, and I'll talk more about it in the shark den. This is the second part of Monday afternoon. There was a breakout. I wasn't trading it, but let's see if there is maybe another opportunity. Here's your shark bands real close. There's the retest, pullback, continuation, resistance off the second shark band, pullback. Do you think that this may be a nice opportune time to jump in? Question, some people ask, are these Heikin-Ashi candles? No. They are a combination of Heikin-Ashi that are in there. If you ask me in the shark den as a member, I will tell you. We have our own algorithm to create those, but those indicators are available for you. But your Heikin-Ashi will certainly work. You just want to practice it first before you apply. So green dot, green candle, go. Red dot. This is the first cross. No. The trend line cross. This is the second cross. I may try to short here. I'm not even looking up. I look up. Could you have made a little bit of money here? Red dot, red candle, short. Go. Okay. That's on Monday. So repetition is a mother of skill. Tony Robbins. Heard that name before? He's one of the world's greatest life coaches, and I encourage you to check out his audios. Fantastic way to change the way you live your life and moving forward. What is this? Is this today? This is today, 418, lower right-hand corner. This is today's trading. Okay, so again, I want to show you the consistency. I've just shown you 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and today. Look at the extreme. Green dot, green candle, go. This is a higher time frame chart. I use the candles on the higher time frame chart. I use the lower time frame charts to enter the trade. I was not trading here this morning. I had other obligations, but would I have traded it? I may have traded it potentially up a little bit of a pullback here for continuation. Here, another second pullback. I don't know what my signal chart was showing. I just want to emphasize green dot, green candle, go long, red dot, red candle, go short. Is that fair? Pretty cool. Many people are visual. I want you to see that this is a great system and it does work. Inexpensively, right? The Shark Den. Come join us tomorrow. Next lighting event, is obviously today. Go to TraderShark.com, go over here to sign up. Sign up to the next exciting event, and at the bottom of that page, Shark Den free trial, April 19th from 9:30 to 11:30. But you certainly can stay in the Shark Den all day long if you like. I'll answer questions as much as you need, and I'm there to answer questions, okay? Email me if you have any questions, Brian, TraderShark.com. Webinar specials. For those attending today, I'm going to keep this up until midnight tomorrow night. 25% off. Look at that. I charge a whopping $197 for for 3 trading manuals. See, so I want you all to know I get tons of compliments. Read the comments on the page. Those are all real from real traders. Scroll down on this page. There are manuals. You can get indicators if you like. You don't need to get indicators. You can actually duplicate them yourself. I use TradeStation. Other traders in the room use NinjaTrader. We aren't needing to upgrade our NinjaTrader settings, but they're still go. We also watch crude. I've not been trading the euro since it split. Since it went to half a penny. And what else? I'll watch gold. And that's it. So if you can make money in one vehicle or one entity, focus on that, master it, and you're done. I think too many people try to apply too many entities at one time. They try to do equities and options and futures and just way too much, right? I mean, I've done all that. Didn't have fun. Make sure you use the coupon code WEB. WEB, when you go to checkout, it's going to show the full cost. Use web, you'll get your 25% discount on anything you want on the website. Is that fair? Let me see if there's something else here. Oh, my apologies. There we go. I thought maybe I had some more screens on there to show you, but I don't. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer? Or Jason, are you able to read anything there?
Yeah, I see them right here. Brian, this is awesome. Thank you very much. So for those of you that are asking, about the recording, of course, we will go ahead and post this, and we'll also send a follow-up email. Don't forget about the offer that Brian mentioned. We have a couple of questions here from, well, one immediate one from Chuck. How long is the discount good for? I think you mentioned 24 hours, but maybe you want to confirm, Brian?
Sure. It's good till midnight tomorrow night. I think that's fair. What I try to do is give the presentation, and then you give an incentive for people if they're encouraged and interested in joining. Let's see how tomorrow's trading goes. That should certainly make a big decision as to whether people are interested or not.
For sure, for sure. The link for tomorrow's free session, Ken will get that emailed out. But Brian, if you've got it handy, maybe we throw it in the chat there.
I actually emailed that over to Julie.
Give me one second. Yeah, I'll grab it.
Yeah, you know what you can also do? Let's see if I can type in here. I'm going to type in trader. You can go to TraderShark.com and then go to. I should know that off the top of my head, shouldn't I? Thank you for your patience. Go to sign up, and then scroll down to the free trial.
And we're pulling it here. I will throw it in the chat box as well. Another question that's coming through here from Candace. Hey, Brian, thank you so much. I have a question. I trade the ES every day. Sometimes I use a 1 minute for entry, and sometimes I use a 2 minute, and sometimes 750 ticks. Am I doing it wrong by using a different time frame?
Not at all. In fact, actually, I use 3 time frames. I use I'm not going to tell you specifically in this presentation, but I use a minute chart, and I use a tick chart, and I use even a lower tick chart. So if it's working for you and you're successful at it, I would never say somebody that they're wrong. But if your results are less than stellar, if you're getting less than 50% profitable, then maybe you want to try different time frames. I'm a big proponent of using cycles of 8. Right, because the world, in my opinion, operates in cycles of 8. The markets, kilobytes, megabytes, those are all. So I would suggest maybe adjusting to cycles of 8, and a higher time frame should be anywhere from 3 to 5 times up. What does that mean? If you're using a 1 minute chart, maybe use a 3 or 5 minute chart as your higher time frame chart. Is that fair? So if you're using maybe a 15-minute chart, you can use a 1 hour chart as your higher time frame anchor chart. I refer to it as an anchor and a trigger, more or less, for just for recognizing. So a higher time frame chart, 750 tick is great because a tick chart versus a time chart, they are slightly different. right? If the market is stalling and really, really slow, your time chart's not going to tell you anything, but your tick chart may be moving a little more aggressively. So if I'm looking at a time chart and it's flat, when in doubt, look left. What does that mean? When in doubt, look left. I look left to the higher time frame chart. If my higher time frame chart is flatlining, I'm not going to place a trade. Hopefully that answers your question, but I'm not going to say that what you're trading is incorrect. It's just, are your results getting what you want?
Melissa, it sounds like you got squared away. Ken will get that link in here. Brian, just to confirm one detail, Julie's emailing me right now. I've got tradershark.com/home/next live webinar. Should we use that one?
That is correct. I think I sent the links. Yes, whichever ones I sent to her. Let me check.
Yep. The only item is when you click on the free trial, we want to make sure that we have an event that shows up there.
It should. Yeah. I'm going to go to sign up on my website right now. I'm going to go to the next live.
Great. I will put this in the chat for everyone.
Yeah.
Ed wants to know, does the software come with training? It sounds like it does. Sounds like there are a number of manuals that come with it.
There is no, there's actually in the forum, it gives you step by step on things to apply. We are going to make a couple adjustments now because, the market is dynamic. It's continuing to change. We're going to make a couple adjustments, but I certainly encourage you, if you get the software, you kind of want to join the Shark Tank because you're listening and hearing it, and you're hearing it over and over. So repetition is the mother of skill. We're repeating what you're seeing. We may make adjustments. Sometimes I'll make an adjustment on the setting, and I'll tell everybody that. As the volatility increased and we were spreading out, 50, 100 points, we're going to adjust our settings. If it's going to a stall into summer mode, we're going to adjust our settings. So you're verbally hearing that from me live. There's also a couple presentations in the forum that'll tell you that as well.
Ken has a question here. After sign up, are there going to be any upsells for indicators, etc.?
There is no requirement for indicators. You can do it on your own. There is no upsells. I'm not big on sales, in case you can't tell. I genuinely get jazzed by teaching people. So I sell the Shark Den for about $197 a month. I sell the manuals for $197 a month. That's it. I give a 25% discount. I've been told many, many times by other people, I can even tell you who they are and you recognize their names. They say I sell everything way too cheap. The indicators are there to kind of help get you a jump start. You do not need them. You can get it. The only thing you don't get are the shark bands, because that really is the only proprietary thing I have. And that does encourage people to stay in the Shark Den, but you don't need them. I can give you some guideline as to how to create your own support and resistance levels if you decide to move on your own. But I think the costs that we charge are very minimal compared to what I see out there in the other rooms. There is no upsell. No, there's no bait and switch.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Any other questions coming through? Brian, this is great. Everything we hope for.
I do have a comment. The performance page has not been updated. That's my bad. I've been so busy. I've not had a chance to do that update, but I will get that up as soon as I can. I'm going to need another week or two because it does take quite a bit of time to put that posted. So if you go to the performance tab, it's going to be asking for a password. As soon as that's available, I'll let everybody know as well. But again, the past performance is not equal future results. We attend it, see if it speaks to you. If you like what you hear, you'll like my voice, maybe Rob's voice. Rob's the other presenter. Some people may like him better than me. They may like me better than him. Just continue to increase your learning, continue to experience different moderators. I even encourage other people to visit other rooms. Why? Because you'll determine what you like and don't like, and then you'll take advantage of the one you like.
Right on. Right on.
How many people do you hear say that?
In this business, it is a rarity for sure.
Right. I also want to encourage Global Trade Titans because Dr. Dean Handley evaluates a lot of those rooms. So
very cool. All right, everyone. Brian, thank you again. We are coming down on the end of the day here on Wednesday. Please keep an eye out for a note from us. We'll include the links and we'll get that. Brian, I'll coordinate this with Julie to get that sent out tonight, so everyone has the link to the free trial starting tomorrow. Look forward to seeing those folks in the room tomorrow. And by all means, if there's anything else, please let us know. Otherwise, we should be in good shape.
There's what I just did. I just posted a webinar specials link as well as the free trial and the Shark Den link. Depending on how fast your computer is, you got to wait a little bit, but the Omnovia is the platform we use. So when you go to the Omnovia page, it's going to take a little while, but when it posts up, that's where you can sign up for your registration for getting a password to attend tomorrow. Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Well, let's call it good there. Brian, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jason, for inviting me. I appreciate that.
Of course. Great as always. Everyone have a great rest of the day. Thank you for joining. Keep an eye out for the next invite for our next event and free training session. Until then, look for a note from us with a recording link and a link to Brian's offer. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.